Hello everybody, and this is Mark Damon coming to you with the updates made to the ACED form. That's Aggregated Collection of Evaluation Data. One syllable, always has been, always will. ACED. And these updates hopefully will bring you less frustration when completing your SGO plans and entering your data for your ACED forms. When you open up your ACED form, most likely you got it from the Google Classroom that your principal has set up for the school. It will open up to a splash page which has 7 instructions which you need to read. These are very important instructions. Number 2, especially, you only are filling out yellow shaded cells. Yellow cells are the cells that I always shade yellow to indicate where you should enter data. Don't enter data in any cell that is not yellow. Those cells might contain formulas, and if you overwrite the formulas, the program may not work correctly. I also want to draw your attention to number 6. You only have to do this the first time you open the file. But if this is the first time you're opening the file, you must accept certain permissions. I've programmed some scripts to run in the background of this to make your life easier. Those scripts won't run unless you follow these instructions, which say you need to click here, this yellow rectangle. Click there the first time you get the file, only the first time, and let's take a look at what happens. After I click that button, you can see at the top now it says running script, and I have an option to cancel and dismiss. I'm not going to do either one of those. I will wait a bit. And once I get a screen that asks me to accept certain permissions, I will accept them, like this one. It says a script attached needs your permission. I will hit continue, and then a screen comes up where I'm going to select my account, and I'm going to choose allow. That allows those scripts in the background to run on this program. I only have to do that the first time. Once you get done reading those instructions, you're going to proceed over to the teacher information screen. Looks a little bit different than the other ACED forms. I'm going to go ahead and enter my name, and I'm going to enter in what school I work for. Notice I'm only using the yellow cells. Now I have 2 student growth objectives here. Some of you may have no student growth objectives. Some of you might only have 1, and some of you might need both. Under each student growth objective, I need to choose which option applies to me. And you can read about those options in this area down here at the bottom, which explains each of the different types of SGOs. When I click on the type of SGO I have for SGO number 1, I can choose I don't have an SGO for number 1. And I want you to look at the tabs at the bottom of the screen. What I designed this program to do is to eliminate any tab that doesn't apply to me based on the information I enter. So if I don't have an SGO 1 or 2, you'll notice that all the tabs at the bottom disappear that have anything to do with SGOs. It takes a second, but there you go, they're all gone. Let's say I go back in and I choose now that I have a tiered group SGO. You can see that those SGO tabs will come back again. So the idea behind this script is that only the tabs that appear are the ones that I need to complete. And this program then will be tailored to you and your needs. For the purposes of this SGO program and this demo, I'm only going to choose that I have a tiered group and or growth SGO for number 1. And let's pretend like I have an SGP and I don't have SGO, second SGO. So let's go over now to my SGO plan. And let's say, I know that first grade teachers, you guys have 2 SGOs, but let's just suspend reality for a second and say that I only have 1 SGO. I'm a first grade teacher. Let's do reading. I have 20 students, and let's say it's a full year SGO. Let's say this is going to be my Fountas of Pinnell benchmarking SGO, and I'm going to type in my rationale. Keep it simple here, guys. Preparedness group. I'm just going to say low, medium, and high. And you'll notice also as I'm typing in low, medium, and high on my preparedness, I have the program now to automatically populate low, medium, and high for my growth plan. Number of students in each, I'll say 3, 16, and 1. Let's say for the low group, I want them to grow 6 levels. The medium group, I want to grow 3 levels. And the low group, let's say I just need, or the high group, I need them to grow 1 level. Just put in numbers here, folks. Don't worry about percent signs. Don't worry about words. Just put in the numbers. And then finally over here for full attainment, in order to get a 3, which is like the full attainment, I'm going to put in the minimum number of students or the minimum percent of students that I need for full attainment. Let's say that that's going to be 80%. Again, just numbers. Don't worry about percent signs. Don't worry about words. Just the number. And then here's where I'm going to break down my exceptional. If I get a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, notice that I get data validation information here where it says enter numbers only. Do not enter any symbols, no less than, greater than, or percent signs. So for a 4, let's say I need a 90. The 3 is that full attainment, 80, partial 70. And of course, this is the minimum number of students, so it automatically puts a 0 in for insufficient, again, because that's the minimum number of students, 0. And you can see here that my name automatically got filled in. So now I'm going to go over and I'm going to enter in my actual data. You can see here I have to enter in from the prior plan the information I just entered, the 6, the 3, and the 1 for low, medium, and high. So it's the 6, the 3, and the 1. The reason I have to enter that a second time and I can't just bring it over from the other screen is because in this case I'm saying students have to grow 1 level, 3 levels, or 6 levels. The other option would be that students need to achieve a score of 85, achieve a score of 75 or 65. That's more of a target score. The way I'm writing this is it's a growth score, and the program can't decide whether or not it's a growth score or if it's a target score. So you have to enter that in manually on this page as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in the information for my students. And notice here, if I'm copying and pasting information from another spreadsheet, I'm not just going to hit Control V or paste. I'm going to right click, head up to Paste Special, and paste values only. That way it keeps all of the cell formatting and the borders and all of that stuff. Some of you might type this information. That's fine. I'm just going to say that back here on the splash page, it says here number 4. If you're going to copy and paste your information over, you must hit right click and then choose Paste Special and Paste Values Only. So that's what I did here. I simply just right clicked, I hit Paste Special, Paste Values Only, and that kept all my borders and my shading and all of that stuff. So that's it for entering in the data for my SGO, and you can go ahead and then submit this back to your principal. Before I get to that point though, let's say during the course of the year I have a student who leaves. So remember, on the splash page, I want to point your attention out to number 3. It says do not delete rows, columns, or tabs. You can delete information that's in the yellow cells, but don't delete the entire column, the row, or the tab. So let's say I have a student who leaves in the middle of the year. All I have to do is highlight their information and hit the delete button, and it'll take it away. Don't delete the entire row, just delete the information in that row, and then I can always just adjust my numbers accordingly based on that student leaving. So hopefully that makes your life a little bit easier. Things got copied over for you now. You didn't have to enter information more than once. Only the tabs you need appear. I can always go back to the teacher information page and I can change it. If I add a second SGO and I choose a whole group, you can see it'll add those 2 tabs to the bottom. So I could enter in a second SGO if I wanted to, or I could go back and say I don't have an SGO. Those tabs get taken away. That's it. If you have any questions, certainly you can ask your principal, or you can email me at mdamon@medford.k12.nj.us.